Hello everyone, welcome back to another Modern Deck Tech. We got Burn.
Burn.
So this is a pretty straightforward Boros Burn list, except the bit of flavor that sets this one apart from most Burn decks is the Chandra's Incinerator. As a pretty straightforward Burn list, we're trying to deal damage to our opponent. And that's what these cards do. So we've got 3 Ragavan, the Monkey Brothers, of course. This card's just so much fun. It's a little off-brand. It doesn't help you so much towards Incinerator, but man, it's fun. Steal your opponent's cards, use them against you.
The treasure does help you there.
Yeah, the treasure does. Treasure does definitely help. Then we got 2 Goblin Guides, again, for the same reason. Doesn't really help the Incinerator plan, but it's decent. It's a good 1-drop.
It's an excellent burn card because it's a 2/2 haste for 1 mana.
Yeah. And then we have 4 Grim Lavamancers, so you don't see this one in a lot of burn lists. But what's nice about that is you can sort of do this whenever. So a lot of these effects do 3 damage, even like the Lightning Helix type effects, which reduces the cost of this by 3. So half the time you would want to reduce it by an extra 2. This is a good card to do that with. And of course, repeatable removal, always good. In a deck where you are casting many cheap spells and filling your graveyard really fast, Grim Lavamancer, pretty decent. Not good in a lot of burn decks, but better in this one than most because of the Incinerator. So Incinerator, of course, is a card that costs 6 mana normally to cast it. It's a 6/6 trampler. Whenever you do damage to an opponent, you can then do that much damage to a creature or planeswalker they control as well, which is really awesome. But the main reason this is in the deck, of course, is because it costs 1 less. Well, it basically costs colorless. X less, colorless mana less based on the amount of damage you've dealt to your opponent. So if you hit them for 5, this costs 1 red for a 6/6 trampler with that ability, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, there's that. And then you can't have Chandra's Incinerator without Shandra herself, so 1 copy of Chandra, Torch of Defiance. The first +1 ability also sort of helps towards its Incinerator. You can deal 2 damage that way. But just an overall quite versatile card. And we had a cool promo one, so I wanted to play it.
He's got the matching little flame decal.
Mm-hmm. Then up here we have Seala Fire. So this is what I was actually thinking of instead of Lavamancer for the turn 2 Incinerator. So Seala Fire on turn 1. It's basically an enchantment that you can sacrifice at any point to shock something. So if you Seala Fire on turn 1 and then turn 2 cast like a Lava Spike, pop the Seala Fire at your opponent, you can then cast Chandra's Incinerator for 1 mana. So it's pretty decent there. Then we have 4 Lava Spike, which is Lava Spike, 4 Lightning Bolt, the slightly better version of Lava Spike.
It's 3 damage to the face.
Yeah. And Rift Bolt, another card that can let us do some fun shenaniganry. So if you suspend this on turn 1, on turn 2 it comes down, deals 3 damage, then all you have to do is send another one of these 1 mana spells at your opponent, and turn 2 Incinerator. Once again.
Yes.
So yeah, Rift Bolt, of course, spend 1, Lightning Bolt. Then we got 4 Lightning Helix up here. So Lightning Helix, 3 damage, gain 3 life. Pretty straightforward. It's a burn deck, so you want to be doing stuff like that. And we got 4 Boros Charm, so most of the time this is going to be dealing 4 damage to your opponent's face, but it can also potentially give your permanents indestructible, till end of turn, or target creature double strike, which is actually quite powerful on the Chandra's Incinerator.
Yes, you do happen to have a 6/6 with trample, so double strike can get out of hand, but for most cases, 4 damage to the face for 2 mana is better than 3 damage to the face for 1 mana.
Exactly. And then we have 3 copies of Searing Blaze. So landfall, it allows you to deal 3 to an opponent and a creature they control. And if you don't get landfall, it's only 1 to each of those things. But most of the time you're getting the landfall. So pretty sweet to Lightning Bolt a creature and your opponent to the face in 1 card.
Because usually you don't like to waste the spell on a removal, so having both together is excellent.
Yeah, and it's nice on curve with all of these other things. So then, for lands, pretty straightforward land choices. We have 4 Arid Mesa, 4 Scalding Tarn, a lot of fetch lands so that we can enable Lavamancer, and also Searing Blaze at instant speed if that needs to be a thing. And then we have 4 basic mountains, 1 Inspiring Vantage, the fast land. We have 4 Sunbaked Canyon, a land that you can... What's the name of this cycle, anyway? Is there a name for this cycle? The sacrifice the land and draw a card cycle?
Is it the pain cycle? I don't know. I don't know what it's...
I don't know. I think the pain cycle are just the ones that ping you for...
Yeah, either tap for colorless or ping you. These
have to look that up.
Ping you or... But I think it's a full cycle, right? It's the enemy colors and then green-white, because that was the original one.
Yes, I think you're right about that.
So it's not a full cycle yet.
I'm sure there's still probably a name for it, and you can let us know in the comments if you know what it is. And then we have 4 Sacred Foundries, because it is a Boros deck. So, that is Incinerator Burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
Something like that.
Disco Inferno.